Hi everybody, Mr. Seward here, and today we're going to take a look at how to draw the pattern for a truncated right cylinder. So the first thing is I've got my front view drawn on here and I've got my top view drawn on here. And the steps for this are in this PDF file right here. And you're going to see that it says you're going to draw the front and top views at full size. So I have a 2-inch diameter here on the circle, and I have a 3.5-inch tall truncated cylinder. Now, what I'll say is that if you're going to make a cylinder any bigger than this, you definitely want to use 11 by 17-inch paper. This cylinder is going to fit on this paper, but not by much. So the next thing is we need to divide the top view into a convenient number of equal parts. We're going to use 12, and we're going to locate the set of equally spaced points in the top view. So I'm going to go back to the camera here. All right. So I have a center mark there right now. I'm going to get my triangle and I'm going to put my compass point right on the intersection of that thing. And I'm going to, or not compass point, sorry, my pencil point. And I'm going to mark that one off. Now, I'm going to turn my triangle here on its edge and I will bring it up until my pencil, till it hits my pencil, and then I'm going to draw a line right across there. Now the reason I'm using 30 degrees is because 12 equal spaces, 12 into 360 gives you 30. So I'll flip my triangle and I'll put in the next one. Then I'll turn to the 60-degree side of the 30, 60, 90 triangle. And I'll do the same thing again. And then one more. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I will go to the ends of each of these lines and connect them. And the distance from here to here is shorter than the distance is if I were to travel around that arc. Okay, so I've got that done. Now, we'll go back to our instructions here. Whoops. And we'll see what it says. Now, we're going to transfer the points in the top view to the front view to locate points in intervals on the inclined surface. So I'm going to bring these points down. Now, I'm going to number these points. I'm going to start with this one is 1, 2, 3. I'll put them in here. 4, 5, 6, 7. That one's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then back to 1. Okay. You didn't see that. I'm sorry. So I just labeled all these points. I decided to start putting them inside here. This gets a little crowded in here to see things, so that's why I put these on the inside. I probably should do that with the 3 right now and the 2. That'll make those easier to deal with. Okay, now I'm going to do the next step, which when I look at the next step is I'm going to transfer the points from the top view down in onto the inclined surface. So down onto this inclined surface. Now I do that by using my T-square and my triangle, and I'm going to start with point number 2. And I just brought it down until it intersected. And then I'll keep doing that with all of them, all the way across. You can do points 1 and 7 if you like, but it's just majorly confusing for me anyways. So I'm going to label this. This is line number 2, or point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, 5, 6. This one up here will be 7, and this guy down here is 1. All right. Let's go back to our instructions and see what those tell us to do. Whoopsie. All right, so we're going to begin what they call the stretch out line. So this line right across here is going to be the stretch out line. So we're going to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to make 12 marks on the stretch out line. So I'm going to draw my stretch out line here. Okay. So I take my stretch out line, that's going to be right at the base of my cylinder. And I'm going to run that all the way across. And just to make sure that this fits on this paper, I'm going to start pretty close to this cylinder wall right here with the first line. So the first line, I'm just going to draw up straight like that. Now, it tells you in the instructions to mark off the length of one of these chords with your compass. So I'm going to put my compass on point 1 here, and then I'm going to stretch that out until I get to point 2, which is right about there. And then I'm going to bring this down, and I'll put my compass point right at the intersection of the stretch out line and that first vertical line, and I'm just going to make a little strike mark like that. I'm going to do that 12 times all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oopsie, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we got just enough to spare. All right. So now I've got these strike lines, or these lines right here. What I want to do is I want to transfer all these points straight up. Okay. I can do that a couple of ways. One, I can just use my T-square and my triangle, and draw them up just like I did with the line on the left. Or I can do this. So I'm going to, because this is a little more stable for me, I've just turned my T-square 90 degrees. I've got it up against the bottom of my board. I line up my line and I just bring that up. So I do that for all of these points. All right. So these points down here are going to correspond to these numbers going around radially on my top view. So, for instance, this is point number 1. The next one is 2. Okay, so it's going to be that one. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then they'll start going around at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then back to 1. Okay? So that's how everything's going to go. All right, now, with my square against the left side, I'm going to bring my square up till I get to point number 1, which is right here. And I'm going to take that all the way across. And then number 2, I'm going to get to the intersection of the angled line and the vertical line. And I'll bring that one all the way across. Number 3, same thing. So I'm going to keep doing this all the way across. All right. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to actually mark the intersections of these lines. And I'm just going to use a simple little dot. So where vertical line 1 meets horizontal line number 1, I'm going to put a point right there. Now, where line number 2, horizontal, meets vertical line 2, I'm going to put a point, which is right there. Now, number 3, it's right there. Number 4 is right there. So you can see it's 0.4 to 0.4. Number 5, right there. Number 6, It's right there. And number 7 is right there. Now we're going to start to come down. So number 8, you can see, is the same as number 6. So this is number 6, and there's the intersection. You'll see that 9 is the same as 5. 10 is the same as 4. 11 is the same as 5. 'Did I get that right? 8. I wonder if I got this wrong. Well, we'll find out. Okay, looks all right. So now I'll draw a line. Well, I'm going to try to draw a line from point to point to point here. You want to make this flow here. This is a big curve thing. Well, you can probably do a better job than what I just did on that. But anyways, this is going to make a nice flowy curve. And if you fold this paper in half, the points would be symmetrical to each other. So it's symmetrical, and 7 would be the dividing line of symmetry. So let's see. Let's see. Are we done? We will go back here to this. Now we're going to locate the points where they're going to intersect the measurement, make these points in a smooth curve, darken and overlaps and all that good stuff if you have to. You know what you could do here is you could just draw straight lines. And maybe that would come out better. But I'll let you figure that out. Anyways, so that's how you draw a truncated right cylinder.